There were plenty of interesting movies released this past year, but unfortunately, many of them were extremely disappointing. A lot of these films had great actors, big directors, but the movies themselves weren't very good. So let's talk about the disappointments, and just so you know, there will be spoilers. Let's start with Jay Kelly. This George Clooney movie had a ton of positive press, so I was expecting something really good. I was very wrong. This movie is bad with a capital B. First of all, this movie is not grounded in reality at all. It's basically a fantasy version of a self-absorbed actor's personal growth story. And I have to say, Billy Crudup's wig is so distracting, I just kept on staring at his hair instead of paying attention to the story. I just don't understand why they didn't use his real hair. Very strange choice. Beyond that, the movie is just harmless fluff. George Clooney plays George Clooney, and because of that, his character never really does anything wrong. Oh no, he's a career-driven actor. Lock him up. He tries to do right by his kids and his family. That's it. Nothing interesting. Adam Sandler is completely wasted here. It's a nothing role. He's fine, but there's almost nothing for him to do except support an A-list actor. It's not very funny. It's not very dramatic. It's just there. Now, this one pains me, but let's talk about weapons. I was really looking forward to this movie. A friend told me, "You're gonna love it." So I was excited. I love horror movies. I like the cast. What could go wrong? The premise sounded great. A bunch of school kids mysteriously vanish and no one knows what happened. Then you find out what actually happened, and it's a complete cheat. It's not an evil mastermind. It's not a bad decision that spirals out of control. It's not anything clever. It's a voodoo spell. When a thriller presents itself as grounded, real people, modern setting, it's incredibly disappointing when the big mystery turns out to be voodoo. That makes me want to walk out of the theater. Maybe it's just me, but I'm willing to suspend disbelief for aliens more than witchcraft. It's a cheap way to solve a story problem. If spells can do anything, why not make a time machine or summon a giant monster? I hate it. Another issue I had was Julia Gardner. I love her in Ozark, but she wasn't right for this role. She didn't have much range here, and she wasn't convincing as an alcoholic. She was just miscast. Oh, and did I mention the voodoo? Terrible. Let's move on to a sequel. I love the first one, and I hated the second one. Nobody 2. Okay, I love Bob Odenkirk. I love Better Call Saul. I love Mr. Show. The guy is incredibly talented. That's why this is such a letdown. They took a great movie and turned it into a cartoony version of itself. The first Nobody worked because it was unexpected, but kinda believable. An average guy who turns out to be a deadly assassin. But it felt grounded. The sequel doesn't care about reality at all. It's just ridiculous for the sake of it, and that's a shame. There were some decent fight scenes, but none of them topped the original. And listen, I love Christopher Lloyd, but he's clearly very old, and you can tell it was hard for them to involve him in the story in any meaningful way. The whole trapped in a corrupt small town thing is played out. It's not fun. Watching Odenkirk fight Russian gangsters was cool. Watching him go up against shady small town cops, not so much. Then it's revealed that there's a big crime boss behind it all, played by Sharon Stone, who acts like she's doing a sketch on SNL. It's bad. Next up, and it's probably not a surprise, the Phoenician Scheme. Everyone loves Wes Anderson. His style is iconic, his movies are usually great, but this one felt like someone trying to imitate Wes Anderson and doing a bad job. Or maybe his movies have become too Wes Anderson. It feels like we've seen this exact same thing before. As a fan, you expect the art direction, the stiff acting, the awkward pauses, the weird humor. But maybe that style has worn out its welcome. He always gets amazing actors, and everyone knows the routine. How to move, how to speak, how to deliver lines. That's part of the appeal. But this movie was boring, and it was just hard to tell apart from the others. Honestly, I don't think I want to see another Wes Anderson film. because I feel like I already have. All right, people are going to hate me for this, but One Battle After Another is massively overrated. I'm sure it's going to win a lot of awards, but the movie just doesn't work. But my biggest issue is DiCaprio's character. He doesn't do anything. Especially in the third act, he's not essential at all. The story would have played out the same way whether he's there or not. Sean Penn is the best part of the movie. He fully commits, and he's actually pretty fun to watch. That said, the movie feels very old. People will say, well, this is exactly what's going on today. But it feels like it was written in 1968. The villains in here are so over the top that it's impossible to take them seriously. They're so extreme that it kills any real impact. This is also one of those movies where people feel obligated to say they love it because there's so much talent involved. But let's be honest, you'll never want to watch it again. All right, sorry if I offended anyone, but these are just my opinions. Let me know what you think. Until next time. Natural.